Hey, everybody.
Woo!
This is Global Party 2017, Healing from the Inside Out, and it is Pain's Wake Up Call with Brenda Kennelly in
Hi,
Ireland.
everybody. And Jackie, thank you. This is amazing. I've been listening to a lot of your talks and phenomenal speakers. You are phenomenal with your energy. It's 4 a.m. over there, so I'm feeling bad getting up for 8 in the morning, but you must be exhausted.
You know what? There's your three more. You, Renette, and Maggie, and then I'll sleep.
Good.
I don't know, but there's something definitely energetically shifting going on. Jim and I were talking about it too. Like I don't know what's happening, but for some reason, this is what needed to occur. And I'm so glad that everybody participated and that.
Yeah.
Are you there?
Back. Yes,
I'm back.
back. Yeah, you're back.
Okay, I'm flickering in and out now. It's kind of like, are you awake or are you asleep? There you go.
You're awake.
I am, you picked this beautiful piece of music.
I did, by Yuruma, and it's called The River Flows in You, which I think is a really interesting name because it's all about flow, but it's a beautiful piece on piano, and it just gets me every time.
So we're going to play a little of that.
Cool. Oh,
so beautiful.
You just want to keep listening to that and singing along to it.
Mm-hmm. I'll put the whole clip on after so people can really get a whole feel for it up close and personal. So, my darling, how did pain wake you up?
Oh my gosh. I have to go back a number of years, but you know, it's really interesting. Sometimes we're walking around doing things because life has dictated how we should do it, right? And, you know, we're born with a name, a gender, a religion, a nationality, and we're conditioned, and you go to school and you do the job and you do everything and you think you're doing great. And suddenly something is not right here. And for me, I went through that about 15 years ago, and I got really, really bad head pain. And I went to the doctor and I got medication. I was told it was shingles. Got medication, didn't work. It continued on, and got more medication and more medication. But actually, I realized after about 6 months, it wasn't shingles, it was actually stress.
Yeah.
And I was working in a very, very busy environment. And I also, you know, I was at that really busy stage where you have children, you're both working, you're trying to be all things to all people, you're trying to control it all. And control was the biggest thing I learned. But for me, it was about something had to shift. And I think the wake-up call was, there were two really that happened in my life. One was when I went back to the doctors one stage, I had to get my prescription repeated. And the only thing that helped me was that, you know, hour of bliss after I took medication. It was like, oh. Okay. But of course, it was only masking my pain. It wasn't doing anything for it. But when I went to the doctor and he told me that, he kind of looked at me in shock, first of all, to say, well, are you still taking those tablets because they're addictive? I went, what? And I'm going, why are you prescribing addictive tablets? That was number one. But then he also said, look, you need to go to a chronic pain specialist, which I did. And that man wanted me to go on a 9-month program. So I thought, oh, suddenly alarm bells went off saying, actually, you're going to have these for another 9 months. And I thought, that's very interesting. I don't think I'm going to be here in 9 months' time with pain. So that was the first call. That was the first wake-up call. It was like, oh, you're actually telling me I'm going to have these for 9 months. So can I do something about it? And I realized, for me, I needed to really look at how I could do things a little bit differently for me. I was working really hard. I was trying to do the kids. I was running down to my parents, you know, all of that.
Right.
So I went on that inner journey that we all do sometimes when something my body was really telling me that there was something off kilter here. And my head was screaming at me. So, you know, if there's any listeners out there, pain can be really interesting. You know, it can be stress, or it can be anxiety, or it can be panic attacks, or it can be palpitations, or it can be headaches. And I suppose I can only talk about my journey and how I could change it, but it might impact others and how they can change it. So for me, it was, my head was screaming at me. All this tension and stress was just being brought into this ball of negative energy in my head.
Right.
So I did go on a journey, and I started looking at other options, and I started in that healing inside. And I remember going to a 7-day program of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, with the lovely Richard Bandler and Paul McKenna and Michael Neal, and it was phenomenal. It was a phenomenal week. And I realized halfway through it, we were doing this really interesting exercise. I can't even remember what the exercise was. But we were doing this really interesting exercise. And I remember going up to one of them afterwards and saying, could I do that exercise on my husband without him knowing, so that I could help him? And the guy looked at me and went, what are you trying to do? And I said, well, it'd be really good if I could just do this, because it could help him, because my husband wasn't well at the time. And he looked at me and he went, what is your need?
Right.
And, you know, in that moment, it clicked. I needed to control. And I wanted everything to be just right.
Right.
And I wanted everything to be in control. And I needed to be
in control.
In control. And of course, I was the one completely out of control. And so I had a huge shift after that, because I realized the only person in the whole world that I can control was me.
Yeah.
I'm the only one I can control. I can't control anybody or anything around me, because that's their journey.
Right.
So it was huge. It was a huge shift, huge energy shift. It was a huge, and I learned so many tools and skills there, you know, with self-hypnosis, meditation, relaxation, all of that. That I really came away after that, and I healed myself, because I really got into listening to my body and going inward. And I really hadn't done a lot of that prior to that. I hadn't done the whole relaxation or meditation or quiet or just feeling into the body. And when I was living from here up, let's face it, I was
you were in control.
Literally from here to here, that's where I was. I was in my head. And, you know, it was a real silent journey as well, because I went through that pain for 2 years before I had that experience of that wake-up call.
Right.
So I was going around in this body that looked fine.
Right.
And people didn't know because I didn't impart it to them. The only people that knew were my family and some close friends. Work definitely didn't know because you were just, you know, you were showing your vulnerability.
Right.
And it couldn't do that. I was in too much of control there. So people, you know, there are so many people that are suffering from anxiety or stress or pain, and nobody can see it because it's really silent. It's a really silent journey. But part of that, you know, exterior look of being lovely and normal and fine, actually, the inside, you know, it's like the duck, you're paddling like mad underneath the water.
Yeah.
And I think we need to talk about it more. And I know, you know, mental health awareness is really coming to the fore and people are starting to talk about it, but even so, there's still an awful lot of mental health issues out there that we're not talking about. And I think talking about it is probably the start of the healing.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw Sonia's, no, probably not, because you would have been sleeping. But she was talking about the body has a message. And her example was, she said, take a doll and rip the head off the doll.
Love it.
You know, and that's how it is. You know, we think this head is what's doing it, and it's completely separate from the body.
Yeah.
And people are just ignoring that their body was an intelligent mechanism. Like, it's an intelligent vibrational frequency that is all connected from the head all the way through, that we've just separated instead of treating as a whole unit.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. And I think also, you know, I've done a lot of reading on neuroscience and the heart energy and the heart brain. And let's face it, the heart was formed before the brain was, when in the embryo. And so the heart is sending us messages all the time, but the head is ignoring it. And if you think about it, our heart is where the emotional piece is. So yeah, I had to really learn. I had to learn how to listen to my body. And so you're going to say something.
I was going to say, did you have to learn, or did you have to unlearn what you've been doing?
I think both. Yeah. I think both. I think I had to really reprogram, and I had to reprogram myself and rewire myself and rewire my thinking and how I used to talk to myself and what I believed was true or untrue. I had to do all of that. And I had to learn then. So I had to unlearn a lot of the patterns and the language and the head stuff. Yeah. But I had to really learn about the feeling and the intuitive stuff and the emotional. So for me now, I really listen to my body, and I really feel, if it doesn't feel right for me,
it's not right.
It's not right.
No.
And it's not about that nervousness ahead of something. You need all that adrenaline stuff, but it's about just feeling into, do I want to do this? And I've had a couple of episodes, you know, that I've really listened and gone against it, and it's backfired. And I've known, should have listened. Yeah. So sometimes we're up here, we're all up here, and we really need to just stop and, you know, start, even for the listeners now, just listen to the heart. Feel it beating. You know, get into that space, let the shoulders drop. Allow them relax. Feel your heart beat. In, out, in, out, in, out. And allow your arms fall onto your lap. And feel into your fingertips. You know, is there a tingle there? Just feel the energy in your fingertips, in your two hands, between your two hands. And feel yourself being supported by the chair. And your legs and feet on the ground. Feeling really grounded. And just notice the energy in your feet. Is there any tingling there in your toes or your feet? And coming right back up to your arms again and up to your shoulders. And just gently breathing and feeling your breath and opening your eyes if you had them closed. Jacqueline nearly fell asleep there. But it's really that just feeling into the body and connecting into it. And when we're feeling that, you're not up here.
Right. And I just want people to realize that yawning is a form of releasing energy, you know? And people think, oh, immediately, but it's sighing, yawning, sneezing, crying, whatever it is. It's letting it go.
And a good big stretch. And yeah, that does it too.
Now look, he's yawning.
4 a.m. over there, so you're really entitled to yawn.
And laughing
is really good too. So just that connection into the body that really helps, because we're so much up here that we have to find a way of getting out of it. And just dropping down into the body. And when we drop down into the body, you know, just put on a nice piece of music. It's not even about just meditating. It's about even put on a nice piece of music. Go dance, move, go to the forest, go walking, jogging, whatever it is that works for different people. But it's about getting into that space where you're in the zone, as I call it. You know, you're in that space where you're just, wow, I'm not up here. So that was the wake-up call for me, was to really look at what you're doing and feel into it. And I didn't follow my path straight away, which was really interesting. I did move, and I left my job and I went into self-employment for a couple of years. But again, I didn't quite follow what I really wanted to do, because people wanted me for other things, and I went down that course, and I went back into, when the recession came in. It was really interesting. When the recession came in 2008, I went back into full-time employment, purely because of my why was to get the kids through college. My husband lost his job. It was, you know, just get the food on the table and keep going. But it was really interesting. When I did go back in, I went in with a very, very different mental attitude. You know, I was in control. I wasn't going to stress. I knew how to handle myself from a personal perspective, and I knew how to really manage my emotions. So it was a completely different experience. And it's only in the last 3 years that I've really just let it all go and said, right, this is me. So we hide behind, our jobs, we hide behind lots of different things, and it's hard to be yourself. It's a journey, it's a difficult thing to, even when I was setting up my business, I was saying, what will I have my business name? And then I thought, well, what's wrong with Brenda? Because sometimes it's easier to hide behind a name rather than Brenda Kennelly, because that means I have to show up.
Right.
And so I had that dilemma, what will I call my Facebook page? What will I call my business? What will I put on my card? Which are stupid things. But we do hide behind them.
Well, do you think people actually hide behind their pain?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's what I was doing all of the time. And but I think people might not even realize that their pain can be as a result of not being aligned to themselves. And I think that's the whole purpose of these conversations.
Yeah.
Is, for me, I did not know. I did not know that head pain was as a result of something that was going on inside of me. Right. I also did not know that I had the ability to change all of that myself. That was the wake-up call for me, that, I have the ability to reprogram myself anytime and to get myself into a state of joy, happiness, whatever, by consciously doing it. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of people that are in pain, and in an awful lot of pain. There's so much pain in the world at the moment. But I don't think everybody is aware. And for me, it was about the awareness and learning that actually I'm becoming aware of who I am. I'm becoming aware of, that feeling in the body. I'm becoming aware of how I could manage the pain. Hi, Genevieve. Yes, you hide behind the pain. Yes, you do hide behind the pain. And it's a really tough one, but it is about awareness. I think, because I don't think everybody knows, and I don't think everybody realizes that this pain can be telling them something. It's the symptom of something deep inside that's going on for them.
Yeah. I like pretty much in the Western world, everybody was raised to believe if you have a pain, go to the doctor, right? And you'll get, and you'll get a piece of thing, get some pills or something, but there'll be something that'll get fixed for you. We'll take it away. And it was sort of always outside ourselves, right? We were wanting to get rid of it. And my oldest, she was just over in Europe for a while, and she started to get a cough. And now they grew up in the other way. So if you have a cough or anything, it's something related to yourself. And she wow, she had no idea, that so many people would be like looking at her going, oh, do you want this? Do you want this cough drop? She's like, I've never had a cough drop, do you want that? She wants some throat lozenges. She's like, I've never had those either. And, talk the way they're talking. She's like, I have no idea what they're talking about. Like, they're all thinking it's normal. And she's like, I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But
interesting.
It's the shift that has to happen but it's about, like you were saying, it's a personal responsibility to be truthful with yourself. That what is it that you're.
Yeah. And I think also it's the quick fix. We're living in a society where we want a quick fix. So we, if the job isn't going right, we change it. If the relationship isn't going right, we change it. If we don't like clothes, we change it. whatever it is, we're looking for a quick fix, but the quick fix isn't working. And that's what's going on. I think that's what the shift is right now, is the quick fix isn't working. And people are starting to kind of wake up to, if I want the quick fix, I have to go inward and do the work to feel okay.
Yeah, and I would agree with you there. And it's been my experience, because it's been a long, sort of journey, is that things, just like the internet, things are happening quicker.
Yeah.
And this is all a physical manifestation, what is real. So there is the sense, when we let go and unlearn, that there can be quick harmonization back within your body. That time, you have to be open to that idea before it can happen.
Absolutely.
Right? And I think that is the idea, is we have to start to realize, has all this old stuff been working for us?
Yeah.
No. You're in pain, you're in suffering, you're in agony, you're still in lack and limitation. Pain is saying, wake up, there's more to life.
Yeah.
And you can try to be happy.
And I really do feel anything that's going on in the body is telling you something.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it's pain in your head, your hand, your toe, it doesn't matter. I think, if you have a really bad cold, and you often find when people are going through grief, for example, afterwards you often find that they get chest infections, lungs, whatever. It all comes out in the body. The body is telling you. And sometimes, you have to go through part of that emotion, but you have to understand and become aware. And I think the other thing is, it's really about being true to yourself and your truth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really finding your truth and falling in love with yourself as well, which is really hard. There's so many people. I do lots of training programs, and the amount of people that can say I am great is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. So it's about really loving who you are and loving the world that you're in. And I think I saw on one of the talks earlier about gratitude, practicing gratitude every day. Well, I practice gratitude every day. Once I started doing that, I have a gratitude tree over there in the corner that I fill every day. But it's about expressing love for everything that you have, rather than what you don't have. So it's really easy to get up in the morning and say, it's a horrible day, I hate what I have, I hate going to my job. It's much easier to get up and say, God, I'm going to make this the best day I can. It's tiny little steps. 3 things before you get out of bed. Have you got a lovely warm bed? Have you got a roof over your head?
Mm-hmm.
Are you breathing?
Yes.
It's little things. For me, it's the hot shower in the morning and my cup of tea. I am grateful every day for those 2 things.
Yeah.
But the little things. So it's acknowledging what you have as what you do, as opposed to what you don't have, and what you love as opposed to what you don't love. So it's all about that. And actually, I'm going to show you this because I thought it was really apt this morning. I have wisdom cards. Don't know if you can see them there, but I often pick one. I pick one for you now, but I picked one this morning, and I thought it was really interesting. The card that came up was, and I thought it was apt for this weekend and what you're doing. My love is limitless.
Yes.
And on the back of it says, one of the bonuses about loving myself is that I get to feel good.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of pain, if you're in pain, you're not feeling good.
Yeah.
If you're listening to the body and you can align it to who you want to be and where you want to go, then the pain dissipates and you start to feel good.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was really interesting.
No, and that was, and I'm not sure who was when we were talking about it, but there's the pain, like, that is basically saying, turn around, don't go that way, right? Like there's something there, and comfort of, doing something new. So you want to expand into a new area, but it's not painful, but it's uncomfortable. And learning to differentiate that in your body is important, because one is moving you through something into a new territory and letting go, and the other one is saying, no, stop going that way.
Absolutely. And you're right, to change, you have to go through the icky stuff. You have to go through the uncomfortable, let's face it. And when I finally left my career job, as I say, I used to work. I never think I work now, because I do what I like.
Exactly.
But when I finally let go, then you're into the, what now? I thought I'd have it sorted in a month, and I'm nearly 4 years down the road, and I'm still on the journey, and I'm loving it.
Yes.
But it's uncomfortable a lot of the time, because I'm having to show up every day, and I'm having to try things that I haven't tried before. And like live video, for example, wasn't doing this a year ago. I wasn't having fabulous conversations globally,
right,
which is amazing.
Really?
But the upside is I'm meeting like-minded people, and I'm having a wonderful conversation, and we're on a journey that is similar, and we're helping each other out.
Yes.
How better could life be?
It's great.
But there are times, like you've moved to the other side of the country in Canada.
Yeah, I moved from Toronto to Prince Edward Island. It's about an 18-hour trip. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've moved from the east to the west of Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
And, I've done things that I hadn't planned. They just happened.
Mm-hmm.
Were they scary? Absolutely. Are we starting all over again? Yes. Have I left all my network, my friends, everything behind me? Yes. Mm-hmm. They're still connected. But it's not easy to follow your heart. So you have to make the uncomfortable pieces. You have to make the uncomfortable decisions
and
to move forward.
I just can say, from my experience, there is that uncomfortableness, right? As you're developing, it's just like working out, right? And your muscle goes, oh, and then finally it's like, yeah, I can do this. I now know my free will always chooses.
Yeah.
Because it's now totally, completely convinced that it's better when so I will surrender, and this thing that people keep calling the mind and making the decisions has been left behind. So like when I get told, have a global party, go ahead, just bring everybody together and stay up for 24 hours. I go, okay, if that's what you want to do.
I love it. Yeah, and that's about the feeling into the body too. Yeah, I think it's great. It's great. And we are capable of so much. We are capable beyond our means. And so people can live their purpose, they can live their potential, and they can live the possibility. And I say that to everybody. You have to choose it though. But you do have choice. And everybody listening, you have choice. You choose the easy route, the pain, whatever, or you choose the more scenic route of figuring it out and just following your heart. Because it is a scenic route. And I actually don't know where it stops or ends. I think it only ends the day you die, because I just think I'm on a road trip for a while.
Well, it's the journey, right? It's appreciating the experience. To me, that's what life is. Life is the experience.
Yeah.
We think of our whole life. Well, really, we're the whole idea is, we've heard it, live in the moment. We're given one day. We're given all these moments. Yeah. And in that one moment of presence, there's the whole universe. So
yeah, and actually I liken it to I know you did a talk with Annie Matthias. I don't know if she's Diane or Annie, but she does beautiful ceramics.
yes.
And one is the labyrinth.
Mm-hmm.
And what I love about her labyrinth is there is one way in and one way out. The way in is the way out. And if you look up the history of labyrinths,
Mm-hmm.
it's so in a maze you come to dead ends, but in a labyrinth the path in is the path out. And if you think about it, it goes around and forward and back and around in circles, and your life is like that.
Yeah.
So I just love that. So the way in is the way out. So you start at one point, but you come back to that point. And it's really interesting. So your journey is full of weaves and curves, and you go one way, come back another way, mosey on again, and but it's all about listening in here, all about in here. So yeah.
So now, those that are going, so I really have to do something because now I realize I do have some pain. How can they get a hold of you?
So they can get in touch with me either through Facebook Messenger or my page, Brenda Kennelly, The Renaissance, or my website, brendakennelly.com. And I do have, I'll put links below this, but I do have a free 3-day online program called 3 Ways, 3 Days to Get Out of Your Head, Reduce Your Stress, and Have Happier Days. So anybody that's in that mind space, it may be useful, and it's free, and just, you can go into my website. I'll put the links below. Yeah.
Because I think in one of the many ways, I think the link, so if we put the links below and above, somebody will have to see them.
Yeah. So I'm going to pick a card for you before you go, because this is your inspiration for the day. Oh, you tell me when to stop. Stop?
I haven't got the word stop yet. I'm like,
okay.
You're just going to keep going for a while now. Maybe there's not a word that works.
Okay. I'm going.
Okay, stop.
Oh, you're going to love this. I am my unique self. This is so you. I am my own unique self, and everyone is unique and different. If we're like other people, then we are not expressing our own specialness. But that's for you.
Well, that's it, because we all have different fingerprints. We all have different retina scans. We're all unique. It's a perfect card.
You are unique. And thank you so much for just organizing this, all your beautiful, beautiful energy. And it's just been wonderful. And we'll have to do another one.
Yes.
Soon. Yeah.
December 21st, the winter solstice. That will be the next one.
Oh, cool. Oh, you're amazing. You're fabulous. Yeah. Cool.
So,
thank you. And thank you to all the listeners and anybody watching playback. Just listen in here into the heart and have a wonderful day and have a wonderful equinox.
Thank you.
You're amazing.
So I would love to keep this conversation going all the time, right? So maybe there's something else that we can end up doing in between. And saying, great message, ladies. Thanks for sharing. So,
thank you.
Thanks
Love you all.
here.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.